Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting episode of Missing the Mark. Before we jump into this episode, I want to let you guys know at home that we will be doing a live watch-along once again on the official GCF YouTube channel for this Sunday's Money in the Bank. So if you don't want to miss that, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We had a blast when we did it for the 2 nights WrestleMania, so we're back. I mean, as chaotic as this Money in the Bank is going to be, it would be a shame for us to miss it. And I'll give you guys our true reaction to the chaos that's going to ensue. Before we jump into it, let's introduce everybody that's on this episode here today. Let's throw it to the Commissioner of the Gold Coast, Joseph Singh.
How are we doing, everyone? Another episode. Great to be here. If you tuned in, hopefully you did, to last night's Royal Ramble, the OCCW show. You saw that me and RJ made an appearance. That was fun. Good to see everyone again. Hopefully we'll be back doing this in that dojo very soon. Let's take it away to our guest this week. You have 1/3 or 1/2 of the another announced team. I don't know at this point. Take it away, TJ.
Hey. It's been a while, buddy.
How you doing?
Everybody's here. All right. It's all a big party, huh? Quarantine party.
Yeah. You having a quarantine?
Something like that.
Quarantini. I like that one.
Quarantini, that's a drink right there.
Quarantini.
It's going to be the first bar to make that drink. I make it happen.
They're working on it. Trust me.
I'm sure they are. Let's throw it to the GCF owner, RJ Wallace.
What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in. It's been an interesting week in wrestling so far. So
It always is.
Every week seems like
You
it's
know,
been an interesting week. But I'm going to throw it to Saint and TJ because they have some things to talk about. Another unfortunate situation moment has happened.
Yeah.
It continues to keep happening, but take it away, Saint.
Unfortunately, we woke up to the very sad news that a SoCal legend has passed away. Not just a SoCal legend, but a deathmatch legend.
Yeah.
Supreme, the king of the deathmatch, the human horror film. For those that don't know, he was the star of XPW, let's be real. And we grew up on this. I grew up on this. I know TJ did.
Like I said in my post, that was religion to me. Like that, I think that's the closest anyone our age group, could get to the territory days.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Like that was in my blood.
Yeah. And I don't want to go too far about what I'm about to say or else to get angry over it, but it's real easy for everyone to talk shit on XPW.
Mm-hmm.
But to us, to Southern California, especially at that age, that was our product. That was our show. Those were our wrestlers. That was our ECW. I mean, to me, if I go back and watch the footage, they're better than ECW. And I know that you can't say that, but it's the truth.
You can't say that, but it was still, as much as it was a similarity, it was its own thing. They had their own solid talent. I honest to God believe I hold Chaos in my top 5 wrestlers of all time.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And well, yeah, you can tell that they based Chaos's reign on Rob Van Dam. However, they're 2 very different television title reigns if you watch. And yeah, Chaos was amazing. Chaos made that show.
Yeah.
XPW was so original. It was ahead of its time.
It was way ahead of its time. I agree 100%. 100%. In fact, in honor of Supreme, I got a shot here. Here we go.
I'll join you.
Human horror film. Yes.
The White Claw, weekly White Claw makes an appearance.
Yeah. Talking a little more on that. And I know RJ will go into it too because I knew you were. We've had these talks. This was one of the first things we bonded over was the fact that XPW was on public access television. I think you told me you got in trouble for asking to go to a show, wasn't that it? Or in the Pico Rivera?
when they used to do tapings in Pico.
Yeah.
When I first
Pico Rivera Sports Arena.
When I first moved to California, that was the first thing I can think of as far as wrestling. Like, oh yeah, XPW's in LA, right? Like we're in LA now. Like let's go to XPW. And my mom was like, "What is XPW?" I was like, "Oh, right."
It's
then,
something.
I had to show her A Cold Day in Hell, and that's what she shot me down.
Tej, you went to you went to XPW.
I went to it was XPWX. It was their
Okay,
10-year anniversary show, and they never had it put on DVD.
They didn't because the rights were up in the air.
Rights were caught up, yeah.
Well, and then we attended. If you can see this, me and you attended Mex Pro.
Mex Pro,
Mex
yeah.
PW.
Mex PW,
yeah. That's the last time I saw Supreme wrestle, unfortunately. A hell of a match he had against Carnage. That was, oh man, that was good. And fun fact, at this event is the first time I spotted Mikey O'Shea.
Ooh.
And if you want to go back, when I first got brought on to GCF, I wrote down one name on a piece of paper of who we needed to get. And Mikey O'Shea was that name, based on Mex Pro, based on Mex PW. So it always comes full circle, including what I'm about to say. If you're a fan of GCF, you knew that I'm given credit for the UV division. And I thank you all for giving me that credit. And it's real easy to look at the UV division and say, oh, it's a hardcore division. No, it wasn't. Not in my eyes. The UV title is my way of paying respect to the king of the death match, which to this day is the coolest championship. The look of that championship is the coolest fucking title you will ever see. If you guys get a chance, go look up a picture of the king of the death match XPW title. It is amazing. And I knew that my UV division couldn't get away with the things that the deathmatch division did, but this was my small way of being like, I can make a title that's the love child of the king of the deathmatch and the hardcore and present you with something, and that's what that is. Every UV division match you've seen is my way of paying respect to what I grew up on in XPW, and that's for Supreme. I can't tell you how many meetings I had where I pitched Supreme versus Tony. I pitched Supreme. I met Homeless Jimmy, and I wanted to host a Homeless Jimmy Supreme rematch. And it's just things that you wish you had the opportunity to do. And obviously, things don't always happen that way. So I'm forever going to be regretful of that. But I can't stress enough how much Supreme XPW Chaos has meant for the GCF product. So I just wanted to say my condolences go out to all the family of Supreme, and thank you for everything that you did.
Yeah, man, like it's crazy that you have that story, because even I've talked about it before, like the beginning of GCF, the first idea behind GCF was it was going to be kind of like a backyardy type of company, And I remember, we would go to Santino's to train and like learn the business and stuff. So, I had a couple conversations with, Chaos and his wife and, Robbie Phoenix and all them, It was kind of cool, like picking their brains, as a fan and as someone who wanted to, be a promoter and actually do this. And like, Chaos actually took us seriously in a way because of how he came in, how he got into the business. He would tell stories of like him and Supreme, and I knew exactly what he was talking about because I was a fan of XPW. And when you get into the wrestling business, you kind of have like a bucket list type thing, like people you want to meet like down the road, or people you want to work with or book on shows. And just like Saint said, like Supreme was on the top of that list for sure. Even before the UV division became a thing, we wanted him, to be on the show in some type of fashion, So I mean, it's real unfortunate that won't ever happen. But he was such a big part of my childhood as far as wrestling is concerned. Because he was just so badass, and like a lot of the things he did, I was like, man, like that was terrible for that person, but it was very cool to watch, And like I remember, like he had a match with New Jack, man, and I was like, man, like I hope he doesn't kill New Jack.
Yeah,
like, that's the only guy in wrestling that I think
I remember him jumping Sandman and thinking, "Oh, I typically like Sandman, but I don't know, man." Like,
no matter who he
no,
faced,
I'm confusing it. Who ended Sandman's XPW crew?
that was Pogo. Pogo the Clown.
Yeah,
right. But right before Pogo, him and Sandman,
Supreme jumped him and took the deathmatch title. Never really beat him that time. He just
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like just memories like that, man. It's crazy to think. And like, I personally never had the chance to meet him. Like, I wish I could.
I know you did.
Yeah,
I
know you have.
Oh, yeah.
So
I met him at a horror convention, and that's funny. Like, out of everybody, you would think, who the hell is he compared to, I met Roddy Piper that day.
Right.
So you would think, in comparison, as far as wrestlers go, who people hold in high regards, that's all I would care about. But I saw him, and actually Rossi Montgomery was there with me. I tapped him on the shoulder. I was like, "That's Supreme." Run over, ask if I can take a picture. Coolest picture in the world. We're both just flipping people off and sticking our tongues out, and he was cool as hell. I'm surprised that he even. I'm not surprised. I'm more. I'm at a loss for words.
Humbled?
I'm humbled. Yeah, that he just decided to take that picture. You would think even he was like, "Don't bug me. How do you even know who the hell I am? I'm a total stranger. I'm here to meet Roddy Piper and Sid Haig and all these horror movie people too." Nice as hell. Did not care.
Yeah, he's definitely one of those people like where if you've watched wrestling growing up, you think if you meet that person that they're gonna be a dick in real life, right? But like hearing stories about him and people that I know that know him and that have met him, he was the total opposite person.
Right.
You know, like he was real nice. He taught a lot of people about the business. He helped a bunch of people out here in SoCal with their careers, and just. It just sucks to lose someone like that, to lose such a legend. Yeah. But I'm glad, in hip hop they talk about, give the legends their flowers while they're still here. I'm glad he was able to get his praise and all the love that he got.
Absolutely.
While he was still here. He's the first inductee into the Deathmatch Hall of Fame last year.
That's true, yes.
Yeah. Then apparently he was going to make his return to the ring this year.
He was scheduled to take on Eli Everfly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Things didn't go the way they did with COVID-19, but it's just real unfortunate to hear about such a great legend, a great person, and we still have shitbags like Jim Cornette still alive.
You don't have to do that. I'm just kidding.
I won't even do that right now.
I'll allow it. That's the one I'll allow.
But yeah, here's one more time before we take the show. Just one more time to you, Supreme. Thank you for all that you've done, and GCF will, in its own small part, keep your memory alive forever. Thank you.
Yeah, it was really amazing to see the outpour of love showing his way today on Twitter and Instagram and all other social medias. You can really tell he didn't just have an impact on one specific aspect of wrestling. He had an impact for everybody when it comes to, just showing them, the game. And I think a lot of legends need to do that, what he did, pass the baton, show other people what it is to be in the wrestling business. And I think he did that. And you can see that on social media. Just the outpour was really amazing seeing that.
Well, I actually even saw, not to cut you off, sorry, bud, but I saw Rob Black himself make a post about Supreme and even said that Supreme was his Undertaker.
Absolutely. I understand that completely.
He was like the main guy that everyone went to in the back. He helped push a lot of the guys in that locker room. He took control of that locker room, and he was just a boss. That was him. That was Supreme.
Yeah. Well, no one wore that brand of XPW the way that he did. I mean, years after, he would still be wearing XPW shirts.
He still held the belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, leader of the clubhouse. I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah, just another terrible loss in the wrestling game. This year's getting tougher and tougher when it comes to wrestling.
I know it.
And It's like every week at this point, we just get another news that just kind of shell shocks you. This one's definitely one of them. But let's just jump right into the other wrestling.
Little flick in the balls every week. That's what it's like.
What?
Yeah.
So a little flick in the balls.
It's turning into punches at this point.
Today was for sure.
It's getting more drastic as each week passes somehow. We'll just jump right into other wrestling news. I just wanted to start off the show with our own homage and respect to that matter, and then we'll get into the other wrestling news. But let's just jump right into this. We talked about this in the beginning, that we are doing a live reaction to Money in the Bank this Sunday, but it was also reported on Friday. And this is where I completely disagree, and now I've kind of lost interest in the Money in the Bank. That the men and women's Money in the Bank will be happening at the same damn time.
So we're gonna get like a split screen watching men and women.
I don't either. Look, they either edited it perfectly well with WWE magic, or it's gonna be camera cut hell.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, I hope that match isn't live and that this is pre-taped and it's edited well, like it's put together well. You know,
well, put together well means that they're getting those good shots of the women climbing up that ladder.
Just getting plenty of Naya in there. There you go.
Hey, in that case, look, I'm here for it. You're gonna get my live reaction to that.
Or just waiting for the Naya OnlyFans to drop. You can pay for the subscription for that one.
That's an OnlyFans I'd gladly pay for, by the way.
Jesus.
I don't know if you know
What? Now you're overselling that, man. She's gonna hurt you too, like she hurt all the Asian wrestlers already.
I mean, shit. Look, I got good health insurance. It's fine.
Oh man.
No, but I lost kind of interest in it. I don't think this is gonna work. I don't care how well they edit this, especially Kevin Dunn, the production
team.
And
they fast tracked an AJ return for this, which to me I'm like, so they're giving AJ the briefcase. It just.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of scared of Corbin winning it.
It's either AJ, Corbin, or Otis.
Otis is not winning anything. Otis is.
I don't know, dog.
Otis has reached Santino Marella levels of hate in my eyes already.
I agree. I've agreed from the start. I really wish that she had just stayed with Dolph. I don't care who hates me for that.
No, it's the truth. I'm like, I get it. You're doing a Chris Farley gimmick. You're not going to go anywhere with it, man. Like, what are you doing?
Like, is he ever going to be a tag team again? Because the dude's just like, what happened?
Like, what is his partner thinking of all this? Like, he's like, well, damn, like, are we supposed to be like tag team champions? Like, is that going to happen? Do it go after?
Well, they
go
tag
solo?
Mandy.
I mean, I would like to hope so, but I don't think so.
No, but yeah, I don't think this is going to work. I just think it's going to be an absolute cluster. You got 12 people all in the same building trying to get to the roof. It's just, I don't know.
That's right. That's what they're doing, huh?
Yeah.
They're doing regular ladders?
Up on the roof, but so they're starting at the ground floor of Stamford headquarters, and they have to make their way up to the top of the roof. They're fighting throughout the building to get to the roof to climb the ladder.
And they can use either the elevator or the stairs. I don't know why they had to throw that in there, but
did they confirm that?
Why are they climbing the building?
On Raw, they did like a video preview of the headquarters, and they went through there and was like, yeah, like they can fight in any room in the headquarters, and they can take the elevator all the way to the top, or they can take the stairs. I was like, well, I'm almost certain they're probably going to use the stairs if you're trying to prolong the fight.
My guess is Otis gets on and breaks the elevator, and then they have to take the stairs.
God, man.
Otis and Nia just somehow.
Otis and Nia get on it, and it doesn't move anymore.
Oh, well.
This is what I mean. That's going to be such a cluster of a match. Like, if we're doing a live reaction to it, good luck. I'm going to tell you now, I'll probably be hella buzzed by that point.
Oh, absolutely.
Going to be talking too much shit.
When doing these live watch-alongs, you have to drink, or else it's not as entertaining.
So does that mean, like, that match is full go? Like, the dudes can, like, beat up on the girls, too?
Well, see, but don't say that, because then I'm going to have to think that Nia is going to grab the men's briefcase, and that's garbage.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just like, what is this, like,
She's the
they're
next
going to be
Blanchard.
fighting at the same time. that means it's full go, right? Like that means
I mean, I imagine even if they're fighting at the same time, they're in separate parts. I think the men and the women are going to start on opposite sides of this building.
It's a huge building. They'll have them on different sides. I'm just going to be annoyed with if it's split screen or some type of like camera cut edit. I mean, it's already been pre-taped, so they're obviously going to add like that Gargano Ciampa, Cena Bray, WWE edit, HD type of thing, and present it like a film. But just I don't know how you could somehow get that with 12 people.
Are they even going to wrestle, or are they just going to set up like some Home Alone booby traps and like stop everybody from running through the building to catch this belt?
It'll probably be a lot of punching and sneaking and running.
Yeah, I'm just like, I feel like you can't do too much wrestling in this scenario, No. But then again, not a lot of these guys, with the exception of AJ, can actually wrestle. So.
I mean, you have AJ and Daniel Bryan, and so the rest isn't really fair because those.
Okay, I forgot Daniel Bryan was. I forgot Daniel Bryan was in the match.
I don't even know who's in this match.
That's
how much I've been saying.
AJ Ray,
You're welcome
Bryan.
for being on the show, though.
Alistair's in it. We'll see how he does on this one.
Oh, okay. So there's 3 actual wrestlers.
And then you got Corbin. And then you got Ray.
AJ, Daniel Bryan, Ray, and then Corbin, Otis, and who?
Aleister Black.
Oh, I mean,
it's not terrible, but like if they would have replaced Corbin and Otis with somebody else, I would have been totally more hyped about it because they're just useless, just spot for the match.
Well, they haven't done anything with Aleister to build up who he is either, so I have no faith in that.
Aleister's promo on Raw this past Monday was pretty good. Like it was different than the promos they used to have him doing, where he was just like looking for a fight. Like this was actually kind of it was
full blown black metal.
Yeah, this one was kind of like I wouldn't say sinister in a way, but like it kind of speaks to his character a little bit more.
Yeah, we'll see how they pull it off. I think it's going to be a cluster. But you brought up that they sped back AJ Styles. We thought he was going to be gone till at least probably SummerSlam, but you could tell that
dead man.
With zombie AJ's back, but
they're like, let's fire his friends and fast track him back. So he's still wearing a pair of OC pants as he's wrestling it on Raw.
And it's like, apparently they died, but AJ did, and he's back. AJ continuing to no sell the Boneyard match is probably also my favorite thing as well.
Right.
But apparently that was going to be Kevin Owens' spot, but apparently Kevin Owens has now sustained a serious ankle injury that's going to keep him out for a few months, actually. Yeah. So apparently he sustained it during the Mania match with Seth Rollins. So you could just add that to the list of Seth Rollins.
Well, but that come on. He jumped off the Titantron.
Shane could have done it. Why can't he?
Blaming Seth for that. He should have caught him better.
Shane landed on the Titantron and survived, right? So.
No, he jumped off it.
Right, but I mean, he landed still in the metal. And what was that, a test match or a Steve Blackman match?
Steve Blackman match,
it was Big Show. When Test is with him, he jumped off and elbowed Big Show.
Yeah.
But when it was Steve Blackman climbed after him and hit him with that kendo stick.
Hit him with the kendo. Okay.
That's when he just fell into it. And then there was the one other time when he was feuding with Kane. That's when I think when he just jumped off and went right through the ramp.
Didn't he jump off the ambulance though?
I mean, well, there was a couple
matches between Kane and Shane.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ambulance one was Survivor Series, I believe.
That's all Shane.
That was the same one. I mean, all that to say, Shane has never injured an ankle jumping off shit.
Yeah, that's Shane, Shane's a legend. He never gets better
built than Kevin Owens, as much as I hate saying that.
I mean, yeah, but
Shane is the only man that should have ended Kofi's heavyweight title reign. I've said it, and he deserves it.
Okay.
I would have marked out far better for that than for Brock Lesnar.
You could have been onto something with that. I like that suggestion.
Exactly.
What Shane should have done was instead of Vince being ECW champion, should have been Shane.
Oh, I agree.
ECW
I absolutely agree with that.
No, I agree with that.
I was literally watching that feud the other day, just mad. So Vince had.
Is that why you're wearing your do-rag?
Yeah, Vince inspired, Vince inspired me to wear the do-rag. That's.
I got to give you an ECW title now so you can be on the podcast of the cosplay that ECW champion Vince McMahon.
Yeah, borrow a title belt, guys. ECW champion.
Yeah, I was like, hey, you couldn't tell me Vince wasn't swagged out with that do-rag though. I think that's where Vince got his black card from. That was
his sweatshirt. We're like, what happened? You had muscles. Now you're just in a long sweatshirt. What is it?
I never understood that part either, but it's. I mean, he was ECW like it would. It's Vince we're talking about here. You never know.
Yeah, so you won't be seeing Kevin Owens anytime soon, and you also won't be seeing Jimmy Uso, who will be out for 9 months with an apparent knee injury. So the Usos.
Don't worry, he wasn't arrested this time.
I was like, is that 9 months of cover up for something?
Hold your liquor, sir. Come on.
Yeah, so a couple of injuries in the WWE. So, the Usos who just returned. Did they just return like a month ago?
They did.
Yeah, they came back before WrestleMania. Yeah.
God damn, man. Now they're out. Well,
so if he wouldn't have gotten injured, Roman might have actually wrestled at WrestleMania, or like had he gotten injured earlier, or
yeah, Roman would have probably faced Goldberg, and then that would have been a whole other mess. Because then he
we
probably
were talking about his blacklisting.
Oh yeah, well we'll just get to that now then. So apparently Roman Reigns has been edited out of certain WWE videos. They were showing the best
Shield was never a thing. It was just Seth Rollins.
So yeah, they have the Seth Rollins cash in. This is during Monday Night Raw, and they cut to Seth winning it, but they don't show Roman at all. They show him hit the curb stomp on Brock, and then he's the champion all of a sudden. Roman showed it at all. So, I mean, I don't know, man. There's a lot of speculation that it's a weird thing. He's probably not happy with the way things are being, run and controlled. And, I mean, obviously he has every right to not want to work right now with everything that he's been through, especially. And if WWE's angry about that, then, man, Vince, you're one petty asshole.
That's dumb. Like, what? Like, why are you faulting the guy for caring about his health? Like, he's your star, right? Like, shouldn't you support him? Like,
I mean, there's clearly more to the WrestleMania story.
Yeah.
Because for it to have this fallout, there was something more that happened, and all I've heard was about the Miz pissing off the Usos, who then went to Roman, who then backed out. So I think that there's something more to it.
Because I'm just saying, like, what if Brock did what Roman did? You think Vince is scrapping Brock from the archives?
Oh no! I mean, essentially, Brock's done what Roman did a couple of times, and Vince doesn't care.
Brock threw the title in Vince's face on a couple of occasions.
He retained it.
Yeah, he went into business for himself and ended the streak. Like, come on, man. Come on, Brock.
He didn't go into he knew what he was. Damn. that implication is stupid, and I've heard Paul Heyman try and spin that story, but there's no way that Brock Lesnar would be alive right now if he went into business for himself. I'm just putting it that way.
I mean, I think he could take Taker in a real fight.
I think Taker's got enough connections to where Brock would never be found.
That's true. You know what? But then again, Brock lives in the woods. He shoot well, man. I'm almost
Taker's got the whole Bonesaw crew,
He's got
Godfather alone would have enough connections to take that out.
Bonesaw is ready.
I won't even dig into my perceived notion of what connections Brock has, just given the whole woods thing. But I'll just leave that to myself. I'll probably tweet it later.
In the woods,
I was watching Black Klansman the other day. So I'll just leave it at that. I was watching Black Klansman, and if you guys have seen that movie, you know that story.
I was watching Jay and Bob Reboot.
Still haven't seen it. I gotta watch it.
Yeah, so damn it. Roman Reigns. I don't know how you guys brought this to Brock, but I'm talking about Roman Reigns now. And then we're talking about Black Klansman and Brock being wood. The point is Roman Reigns has been completely wiped off pretty much right now. And they've been told not to mention his name whatsoever on any programming. A lot of people are saying that's because WWE doesn't want to mention Rona at all because apparently it's like a blacklisted name as well to say that. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. It could be nothing, but it's very interesting that they would just completely edit him out. I mean, I don't see the point.
No.
It happened. Like, anybody could see that on your damn network or YouTube or anything. Like, I don't get the whole point of doing that on a Monday Night Raw live. It seems kind of petty to me and kind of ridiculous.
Well, and just to act as if that Braun was supposed to get the match the whole time was a little ridiculous too. Like, pretending as if he had been challenging Goldberg. I need his reign to come to an end already.
I'm sure that alone. I think it will. I think they're planning to give it back to Bray because I think the Roman thing it might take a little bit longer than people expect. I think there's some, like you said, I don't think that's the full situation. I think there was some underlying things that happened behind the scenes that we probably will never know until maybe one day he retires and does a shoot interview. But until then, he's gone for a while, and it looks like they're building up Jeff Hardy right now. So
but we're gonna have to sit through a Sheamus Jeff Hardy feud, which does nothing for me.
Is that what's happening? Sheamus and Jeff Hardy?
Yeah.
Yikes.
What?
Jeff Hardy and Sheamus are gonna have a feud right now. Don't know why. Just because the announce team keep hyping up Jeff Hardy's return, and Sheamus keeps getting angry that they're mentioning Jeff Hardy. So clearly they're gonna feud.
So is this TNA in 2011 when Jeff Jarrett kept calling Jeff Hardy a drug addict?
I mean, who hasn't called Jeff Hardy a drug addict?
At this point,
WWE does a pretty good job.
Calls him like I sees him.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'll cut Jeff Hardy some slack this time.
I don't know about that, but all right.
But if he fucks up again, that's just
Yeah, 8 strikes and you're out for Jeff Hardy. Right?
That's the guy that they're building, but they can't show Roman Reigns because he wants to keep his health right. But hey, Jeff Hardy's coming back, guys. Just unbelievable. Florida has given WWE and AEW the green light to have 25% of fans at their show starting this next week. So that means if WWE wants to and AEW
only
wants to start selling tickets, only in Florida.
In Florida. I don't have anything other than that. Only in Florida. It's the truth.
That's not a good look. Even if social distancing is technically supposed to clean up by then, Florida's never been a good look. No. But like, even if social distancing is supposed to clean up by then, this is still not a good. Like, it's not a good thing. Like, you shouldn't jump right into it. Like, this is dumb if they act on this, which knowing WWE, they probably will.
They will.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so.
I think AEW might wait to bring the crowd back, but I think they'll absolutely do it as soon as possible.
Yeah, tonight in AEW Dynamite, not a spoiler or nothing, but they had their talent in the stands scattered all over the place. So I don't think they will go that far yet. I wouldn't be shocked about WWE, though.
No, not at all.
We'll see how that goes. I mean, in other news as well, just to change the topic, it's desperate times right now with WWE because once again they broke the record for the lowest ratings in Monday Night Raw history with 1.6 million watching, which is the worst in Raw history, which is why apparently you're going to see Edge and Randy Orton next week on Monday Night Raw, which is why I could totally see them doing the 25% fans in attendance.
How many viewers do we get on this? How many viewers do we get? Much more.
Our viewers are steadily on the rise. All right, we start off so low that we're doing. The Edge thing. Okay, I would understand if they just brought Edge in, because where has Edge been since Mania? I understand that story-wise, it makes sense. But you don't need to bring back Orton yet. That's stupid. Like, there's no need to bring Orton into this. You could have built off Edge for the next couple of weeks and still gotten the steady rise in ratings based on Edge's name alone. To go back to the Edge-Orton feud, which was supposed to be over with, is stupid.
Yeah, my thoughts exactly. It takes away from the Mania match. It takes away from that conclusion of Edge, like pretty much crying at the end there when he took Randy out. And now it's like a few weeks, a month later, now they're back on Raw.
Yeah.
Like, you just took away from the Mania match altogether. You took away from the booking, the whole plan of the rivalry, and now it's like, hey, we got 1.6 million only watching now, the lowest ever. The lowest third hour ever, too. So now let's just bring them back.
And it's almost like they're assuming Money in the Bank is going to be terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So here's a palate cleanser.
The lowest
versus Orton.
What?
The lowest third hour.
Yeah.
Stop doing 3 effing hours. I almost slipped. I caught myself for you.
Good job, TJ.
You're fine. We're on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh,
YouTube.
Where was I going with this? Yeah, no, it's the truth. It was ridiculous. I had a point, and no, I think RJ had it though.
I feel bad for Drew though, man, because this is the type of thing where if the ratings keep plummeting, I could just see Vince
blaming the champion
on the title run and just strap it on somebody else for the sake of.
Okay, I would say go ahead and put
strapping on.
Go ahead and put the belt on Seth and watch the ratings go tank even more.
Oh yeah.
So you know.
No, I could just see him bringing back Brock and giving him the title again, just being like, "Hey, I need you." Here's another.
But I think Brock is smart enough at this point to be like, "Fuck you! If you don't have a crowd, then I don't have no draw. I'm not showing up." You know, Brock's a dick, but he knows what his draw is.
And I think that's what Brock will say. Or at least Paul Heyman will probably say it. Like, hey, like Brock's not wrestling in front of no crowd. Like WrestleMania was about it. As far as that, like you can bring Big Show back for all we care. Like
right,
Brock's not coming back again.
What was Edge's initial contract? Wasn't it for 6 matches a year?
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean they're not going off another match quite yet, but still you're already wasting valuable time that you're gonna have to pay him a shitload because that's what you signed off on. Like this is a really stupid move on Vince's part.
Yeah, desperate move. It's one of those things where he needs some kind of attraction at this point. Because the roster is depleted, man. Like, as much as I like the Zelina stable and all the things they're doing with that, they keep losing every week, so they don't have really any steam going on for them. You know, they team up Cedric and Ricochet, they lose, so they have no – it's 3-3, 50-50 booking. When the roster's this depleted and you keep having 50-50 booking, nobody's going to want to watch because it's the same shit over and over again.
Lashley some garbage storyline with Lana, which is just stupid as well. It's boring. The product is dull.
Yeah,
and it's not going to get fixed during this
and then you give Apollo Crews another push, and he gets hurt again.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he messed up his knee.
Allegedly. Depending on who you believe in. But yeah, so that's why the ratings are dropping. So I mean, I feel bad for Drew just at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Man, I could see somebody cashing in on Sunday on Drew for the sake of
but I imagine that the money for this match, I think the Money in the Bank has to be the main event. For the way they built this up to be in their building, I think it's got a main event that show, which makes it a little trickier to have him cash in then. But yeah, maybe on Monday.
It's going to be wild to see how they pull this off. But the ratings went low. Also, apparently, the third hour was so low after Charlotte showed up on TV. If you look at the numbers, as soon as she came up to TV, that's when they had the most clicks off ever in the history of Raw. So I mean, so much for Charlotte bringing the ratings to NXT. We'll see how they pull that one off in this week. Let's jump right into this one. Becky Lynch going Hollywood. Thoughts?
Good riddance. I don't know what stupid Marvel movie they've signed you up for. Probably Captain Marvel, which I already don't give a damn about. So good riddance. Go to Hollywood and stay in Hollywood and don't come back.
I mean, don't stay in Hollywood. Don't ruin Marvel for us now. Jeez.
Brie Larson. Not did a pretty good job of that already. So
that's right.
It's already there. So yeah, Becky apparently saying that she's taking coaching from The Rock and Cena because that's some great.
Oh yeah,
coaching for acting.
I think even John Cena would tell you not to take acting advice from John Cena.
She can star in something. I mean, she's good enough for that, but I don't know about Hollywood.
You would cast her? TJ would cast her? One of his?
I'm casting anyone right now. Like, we're getting bottom of the barrel type chicks on camera right now because it's hard during quarantine.
That's not
you got to tap to something, guys.
As long as they wear the masks, they're okay, though, right?
I'm doing this for you guys. Well, I always wear the mask. It actually helps a lot. So I get down and dirty in there. It's pretty gross sometimes, especially with these women. Bottom of the barrel. No joke. Those masks help.
All right.
I'll send all of their links to RJ, and he'll subscribe to their OnlyFans.
I know you will.
You know, I think my queue's all filled. Actually, yeah. I think we're good, man. I think we're good.
I just love that's where the Becky Hollywood thing went to. Literally just went into that whole discussion. In other news, and another things that we've been talking about on Missing the Mark is how WWE is a sinking ship right now. There's a lot of fraudulent things going on behind the scenes. It just came out that Triple H has sold more than $1 million worth of his WWE stock. So take that however you want.
But Vince already sold $1 billion, right? Stephanie sold somewhere in that region too.
Kevin Dunn sold a shit ton as well.
There's all of these rumors about them open to discussions of selling, which I don't believe. Like, at the end of the day, Vince McMahon doesn't have the balls to sell what he murdered over, to get to this point. There's been too much blood on his hands to just sell it to Disney now. So I'm just saying, I don't see McMahon in his
You told me Disney's not accepting blood money?
No, not at all. I'm just saying that Vince isn't going to shell his company over to the mouse quite yet. Now, when he kicks it, maybe Stephanie will sell the company. But
that's what I'm saying. I feel like it's going to get to the point where, like, Vince isn't going to have a choice. Like, the mouse will just take it.
Because his monopoly just keeps going up and up.
Yeah, like the mouse is just like, you know what? Here's $14 billion. Die.
I mean, WCW was in theory partially owned by Disney's Florida at one point, right? Because that's where their lot was.
Well, we're gonna see Monday Night Raw at Disney World. It's gonna have it outside.
That would be
like
dope.
that.
Actually, low key.
And Hulk Hogan makes a comeback.
Yeah, the Thunder and Lightning reboot will.
Thunder and
Paradise. Sorry, not Thunder and Lightning. Thunder and Paradise. Thunder and Lightning is a great tag team. Sorry about that, guys.
Sorry.
Shout out right there.
I was like, I don't think Thunder or Lightning would want to be, involved with Hulk Hogan.
I think Azrael might be okay with being associated with that.
Well, let's reach out to the Hulkster and see if he's down.
Like, hey, Hulkster, we got a tag team. One of them's black, though.
Oh, my God. Fucking toxic ass episode, man.
It's like, technically, both of them are black if you close your eyes and listen to a promo.
It's okay. RJ approved of it. It's all right.
Look, I wasn't going to say no to cultural appropriation.
So anyway, Triple H selling $1 million worth of stock, and Disney might buy the WWE. In other news, Curtis Axel has been released.
Joe Hennig.
How do you think about that? Do you think he'll pick up somewhere? Do you think he has talent?
GCF is where he's going. Going to GCF.
Curtis Axel is very underrated in the sense that if you know his whole story, he was the one The Rock trained with for his comebacks. Triple H trained with him for his comebacks. Essentially, and I've said this before, Curtis Axel got the X-Pac and Stevie Richards treatment of X-Pac trained Shane. Stevie Richards trained Shane at one point. They're always the guys that are used just to get someone else over, never get their fair end of the deal. And especially Curtis Axel, who now it's come out that Vince purposely wouldn't let him use the family name, which is ridiculous. He never got his fair share. He literally should have been the second coming to Mr. Perfect.
Yeah.
And they just never gave him the chance to do that. I think it's a little late in the game now for him. I would love to see him go to Japan and make a star out of himself because I don't think he would fit anywhere else. Maybe at NWA Power using the family name. But other than that, I don't see him going to Impact and I don't see him going to AEW.
I agree. I could agree with that 100%, honestly.
Yeah, and if he went to AEW, they would just give us another old manager.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like everybody else they do with. I mean, look, I liked his run with Paul Heyman. I enjoyed it, and winning the IC title and all that. That was pretty enjoyable. But then they dropped the ball on that too, like always. I mean, it never went anywhere. I mean, same thing when they put Cesaro with Paul Heyman. They try to force these things to happen. They barely give it a month for it to work. They don't really give it any like leg room or any time to really process. It's here one day, gone tomorrow. But I think he still has talent. I would love to see him anywhere at this point. He can still do a lot with that character, I think. And I think any company should jump on that or make that happen at least.
I would tell him not to go to the Indies and not tag with Ryback. Please don't reform Rybaxel. Please don't.
Man.
There's more to gain for you. Don't listen to Ryback ever.
Please don't. Please do not take advice from Ryback.
Even though I happen to know that Ryback follows GCF's Instagram, so what up?
He does.
Really?
Yeah.
That's gonna change real quick.
Yeah,
hey,
this is like before our first show. Like he followed us, and I was like,
I have said many times, I like Silverback Ryan Reeves. He was really good when he was an up-and-comer. Ryback kind of lost it. So I'm just saying.
But did he straight up change his name to Ryback? So, like, we couldn't even bring that back. We tried.
You can't own it now, right?
Yep.
Jesus.
I mean, really changed his name.
And talking about people that are trying to get hired, Cornette talked about how Tony Khan pretty much told him no thank you.
Thank God for Tony
managing
Khan.
the Revolt.
Good job. Executive of the Year, Tony Khan.
Yeah, Cornette tried to flip it into like, oh, he wasn't that interested anymore. But no, Khan told him to fuck off and told him, hey, not interested, don't want you here. Don't need you to manage the Revolt. But that brings me into the Revolt being on Talk Is Jericho today. And man, did they drop some stuff. I mean, not too spicy, but they dropped some knowledgeable things. They made it very clear that it wasn't about the money. It was more about booking and their place in the company, that they felt very sighted and they wanted to leave the first time after seeing Braun Strowman run through the tag team division and win the tag titles with the kid at WrestleMania. They felt that was just disrespectful to tag team wrestling and to them. And that was one of the first instances that they really felt they had no place in WWE. They also bring back the fact that Vince cares more about putting random talent together as tag teams than already established tag teams themselves, unless you're the New Day or the Usos. Any other tag team out there, he pretty much doesn't care about unless he could just bring people together. Like, I mean, we've seen it, we're seeing it right now with Ricochet and Cedric, just random.
Rude and Dolph got forced together randomly.
Just showing it together. That he cares more about that than anything else. He always also brings up, we saw those comedy sketches, those ideas that WWE had for formerly the Revival, where they're dressed pretty much like a circus clown.
Those horrible drawings.
They looked like the Ninja Turtles in one of them.
Well, apparently that was introduced by Bruce Pritchard. That was Pritchard's idea for them to have this I guess they were saying carny type of circus clowns. And I think they compared them to the characters from Batman Returns. With Penguin, am I getting that one right?
Oh,
yeah,
like the member, like the game member,
and everything that he had.
Yeah. That was the idea introduced by Pritchard, and they said that originally that they were okay with that idea, but then they were told the next following week that they were not needed anymore and they were sent home.
Wow.
And they also confirmed that they were actually offered more than $750K each. That they were offered more money. But once again, they weren't in it for the money. They just felt like Vince and the company had no real care about tag team wrestling. And I don't blame them, man. I really don't.
No, not at all. I mean, look at – I was never huge on the Ascension, but look at the Ascension. Those guys were the stars of NXT in their time. And it said that Arn Anderson just revealed Vince brought them up simply to bury them. That's Vince's mindset. It's his own. It's his own like company.
Go on.
I was gonna say it's his own company, and he gets jealous of a product that he doesn't have anything to do with. He is jealous of NXT.
No, that's true.
Because Triple H has his hand in it.
Because he knows what he's doing. Yes. He understands the business. Vince lost touch 20 years ago.
Yep.
He's out of touch.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah. But imagine being that powerful and wealthy that you have the time to get jealous of your own product and be like, bring them up. I'm going to crush them. For no reason at all.
I was going to say, makes absolutely no sense.
No.
Because like you had said, I didn't care too much for them in NXT. They got brought up. They got revamped almost like a goth Road Warriors,
Right.
and I dug the shit out of that look. And they could have done something huge with them, especially when they were with Cody, even though people started to hate the Stardust gimmick.
Right.
That was gold.
It really
That
was.
silver.
It really was.
I don't know. It was Stardust. But they literally could have done so much more with all of that.
No.
Never
Did
did.
the Ascension even win the tag titles in WWE?
No.
I don't think so.
No, they never did. They never did anything with them. Like I think the most they did, like you said, was put them with Cody, and then they were just there for main event spots and just to bury them for other tag teams. Another thing that the Revolt also mentioned, that Vince told them that they would never get over if they continued to use their Southern accent,
which contradicts what Harper just said in the other one, where they tried to force an accent on Harper. And he's going, "That's not who I am, sir. I can't do this." No, go out there and do the Southern drawl. It'll go over for you.
Like that's literally the Revival's gimmick, though. Like, how are you gonna tell that? That's dumb. Like,
it's because Vince thinks it's the old days where he puts a piece of paper in front of a guy and says, "This is what your character is." Mm-hmm. It doesn't work that way anymore. Guys come in already established. And Vince is living in the 80s where he's giving out Jake the Snake's gimmick and giving out Goldust's gimmick that he had in his head. It doesn't work that way anymore. But he can't wrap his mind around that.
Yeah, and that creative team is so abysmal at this point. It's just a bunch of TV writers from TV sitcoms that he wants to write good wrestling, and they can't. They fail at it every time.
They should just bring Freddie Prinze Jr. back.
Since Vince put out the issue that the writers aren't allowed to talk to the wrestlers. As a writer, how are you allowed to? How can you come up with something to get over, not knowing if that actor can get it over? You can't anymore. But Vince is sitting there being like, "You're not allowed to collude with the talent," which doesn't make any sense.
Makes zero sense.
Yeah, it's just, again, like you said, out of touch, just not in its prime anymore. It's time to hang it up. The fact that he's jealous about NXT is just wild to me. And for everybody that's excited right now about
Disney, come on, buy WWE. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Be control freaking WWE.
Get that WWE, ESPN Plus, Disney Plus network bundle.
What Kevin saying?
Are you pay for that?
I know.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I have all three of those. Services, and I don't like paying for them separately. So we can get them all together.
Disney, you could buy me out. You could have all my content.
Disney After Dark?
That's right.
Hey,
there's
a lot of money behind that.
I was bringing up for everybody that's excited. I'll go for it, brother.
So it's going to cost extra.
Oh.
A little pricier. It's
worth
it.
For everybody that's excited about Cross and Scarlett's debut tonight, just hope they stay at NXT. Because the moment that Vince notices Scarlett, good luck to that. Because that's going to be the beginning of the end for Cross.
Oh, we'll get a Liv Morgan Scarlett feud that'll go nowhere, and then they'll both be.
It doesn't matter.
It'll just that'll just end with
down.
That'll just end with Liv trying to make out with Scarlett.
Well, hold on now. We want ratings.
Save the ratings right there.
Yeah, but come on.
Stretch that out for a full hour. The third hour, that's all it is.
But you can't do that with every young hot blonde on the roster.
Lana's not blonde anymore, so it makes sense.
Anywhere.
You bring up another blonde.
It's like, anywhere? Word? Let me find out.
Which you could do on her OnlyFans. No.
Well, I mean, it's quarantine. I ain't got shit to do.
Wait, does she really have one?
No. No, but you can always look up her old pictures. Those are out there. She has posed for Playboy a couple of times. That's the truth.
Or just see her TikTok. She's begging to start an OnlyFans.
Absolutely she is. She's one step away from it already.
She's just waiting for the release papers to come with Rusev. I mean, that's all I had for this week, my boys. I mean, I had one question that somebody asked me on YouTube, but I was going to leave it for this. Kind of controversial, but I want everyone's take on this. Okay. We're running WWE. Would you put Chris Benoit in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah. So I can't fully side with Paul Heyman because he goes on a real opposite and gets real angry, which I understand because he lived through it. Paul Heyman's the one that says no. Now, if you're asking me about a wrestler, he'll tell you about the wrestler. He'll tell you that he wanted to put the ECW title on that man immediately, and he couldn't do it because everyone else got a hold of him before he could. But he says to have lived through that, to come back to that moment in his mind, even for a split second, you can't put that in the Hall of Fame. So I will name Chris Benoit every time you give me a best technical wrestler, every time you give me the best submissions, every time you give me the best to never hold more than one title, like one reign, who deserved more reigns. But no, Hall of Fame for that last moment, you can't put him in. You can't because the minute you search his name, what comes up?
Yeah.
You know, what's the first thing that's always going to come up?
Because I had always said yes, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. And you're right, it was Paul Heyman that once I saw exactly what he had said, how he said it, it 100% stuck with me.
Yeah.
That it's like, no, that's true. That is forever a stain on the business.
Yep.
And Paul Heyman even said, as a wrestler, top 5.
Oh yeah.
Out of all the wrestlers in the world, everyone he's ever dealt with, everyone he's ever met, people he's never met, doesn't matter, top 5. He's like, but because of that, you can't. Like, how can you do that? Like you said, you can't.
I mean, and you even go again to Dark Side of the Ring, Jericho, who I love to death, but he'll tell you the real story. He'll tell you that he loves Chris Benoit this day, but he says it too. What's the first thing that happens when you search his name? That's why you can't do it. And when it comes down to it, it's the truth. I will always be on the side of Benoit in terms of wrestling. I will always tell you, I'll even dive into the, theories out there of if you were to ask me that question, I'm willing to talk about it. Not right now, but but I'm just saying, like, I'm always going to try and side with Chris Benoit for what he was to the wrestling industry and my childhood. It's just you can't, based on what happened, put him in a global Hall of Fame knowing that anyone can look up his name and see.
But do you want more controversy?
What you got?
Because you know who you can? You know who you can induct? Pegasus Kid. Don't say the real name.
On a technicality, I guess you could.
Would not,
On a technicality, you could.
That's up to Japan and Mexico, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like you two said, like, yeah, like it does leave a stain on the business, like, to state, like, when you put it in that way, like, he is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, but, like, just like with any public figure that's done something terrible, you think about the terrible thing they did and not the great things that they did in their careers,
Yeah.
And so, and it also causes a domino effect because you can't even put his wife in the Hall of Fame, like.
I mean, can you though? I thought you can as a manager, as woman. I mean,
and here's the saddest part is I don't quite think she's worthy of Hall of Fame, but I would also
because of WWE.
Yeah, like she did more in
WCW. Even though they're putting in.
Yeah.
Did they just put in Liger?
They were putting in.
That was the plan.
They were putting in. He's done one thing.
Yeah.
One thing, wrestled Tyler Breeze. That's all he's done.
Well, that was the same thing when they put Inoki in.
Well, yeah, they put in Carlito's father, and he only did one Rumble.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people in the Hall of Fame that really had no impact in WWE. I mean, my whole point with that was, like, if you had to do something of that aspect, I would go down that road.
Yeah.
If anything.
Yeah.
But then they put in, I guess technically he didn't do it, but he's an accessory. You just said Carlito's dad. He's an accessory to Bruiser Brody.
Well,
he's in.
I mean, he could stop that shit.
And
Jimmy Snuka's in the Hall of Fame,
Jimmy Snuka,
but
Snuka definitely killed his girlfriend.
Vince just brandishing the briefcase the entire time.
Vince just comes out and it's like, look, this is the
we haven't
briefcase
had we haven't had T. John. Have you been keeping up with Dark Side of the Ring, or no?
No, I'm trying to think of the last one I saw.
Oh, okay. Well, we are referring to the Jimmy Snuka episode. Apparently, Vince McMahon.
No, I didn't get to see that one.
He came up to Jimmy and said, "Don't worry, brother. This is all going to go away," and was brandishing a briefcase as he went into a room with the cops. This was the story that was told.
It all went away.
and it all went away.
It all went away.
Yeah, I mean, like you guys said, I think it's pretty much impossible to do it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just you can't. There's no way. But if you were to do it, I think putting her in there would make the most sense.
Yeah,
if you were to go down that road.
Absolutely. I saw a question that I thought I would bring up, which is less controversial. It's not tag team. It's who is the best tag team wrestler, not wrestlers. So if you think back of like a guy that held multiple tag titles with multiple people, who's the best tag team wrestler?
What? But
and that's what I thought too. So I'm like, an easy one is Billy Gunn, is where my mind immediately goes.
Yeah, Billy Gunn.
Well, Billy, but I mean, honestly, if you want to get super technical, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie.
Okay. I was gonna say another one. My mind went to two, and I don't even know why.
I
would say Jericho
exclusively like known for tag teams.
Well, no, I would say. Well, maybe that's how they meant it. How I took it was like it could go into any tag team and make that tag team successful. So like that's why
Jericho.
my mind went. And my mind went Edge because you go Edge and Christian, Edge and Jericho, Edge and Orton. Edge and Hogan had the tag titles.
Edge and Ray.
Edge and Ray. Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, my mind immediately jumped to Edge. But, yeah, that's an interesting one to me. Like, when I read it.
Yeah, like, you can go so many different ways with that.
Yeah.
All the members of the NWO.
That, all the Bullet Club guys, like
minus Disco Inferno.
Yeah. And Virgil.
Yeah.
Hey, he's going to buy the WWE, you guys.
I saw that.
Nah, man. We're good.
Vince wouldn't allow the sale to Virgil. Come on.
Vince is like, I don't care if you do have the money. That's not happening.
No, it's you.
One more thing I want to say before, and then we can continue Q&A if anyone's got anything else. But last week we were very vocal about there being no WWE video games because 2K is shit, and that they were putting out 2K Breaking Battlegrounds, which looks like garbage. And so there was no 2K20 coming or 2K21 coming out the next year. So I went and looked, and there's a couple of games in development by indie studios that I'm actually want to throw out there. One, and it's because of us, what we talked about. One game is called Ultra Violence that is being worked on, and it focuses on deathmatch wrestling with an aspect towards Japanese electric cages as well. They haven't put out a lot of the wrestlers yet, but they've showed scaffold matches, which is, again, a callback to XPW. And, yeah, again, as the minute they said electric cages. So definitely be on the lookout for Ultra Violence. The other one that is pretty well known is Retromania Wrestling.
Yeah.
Which is an unofficial sequel to WrestleFest back in the 80s. They've signed a number of talents from Legion of Doom, the BWO.
We call them the Road Warriors, all right?
Oh, okay. And they've partnered with NWA. Nick Aldis is in the game. They've also partnered with House of Hardcore. So it's a very cartoony aspect, but that's coming out next month. So keep that out.
Which is funny because John Morrison's in it.
John Morrison is in it. He signed it right before going back. Yep. So that's Retromania Wrestling. That comes out next month for Switch and PlayStation, I believe. Keep a lookout for that. Chikara has a game out for Steam right now. Chikara Action Arcade. And I saw a little bit of clips. This looks funny. I mean, it looks entertaining. I won't say that it's a solid wrestling game, but this is like Chikara. You know what you're getting. Very funny, comical aspect of that. And one more is the company's name is Virtual Basement. They haven't put out a name of this yet, but a number of indie stars have shown their contracts to be used, including Crime Time. Joey Ryan signed a deal, and a couple of others. So Virtual Basement, and their game looks actually pretty solid from the renders they put out. It looks almost like 2K's rendering.
Yeah, did Jeff Cobb sign, I think, too, as well?
What one?
I think Jeff Cobb signed, at least either
I
with
think
that
he
one
did,
or
yeah.
He's in Retromania.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, yeah, there's a couple of options of gaming coming out, so stay posted. I know I
That's
will,
cool.
because
I
don't want to buy anything that 2K puts out there. So keep an eye out.
Also, I follow some guys on Twitter. Like they're like coders, and they make like mods for games. And these dudes did a whole like redid No Mercy, basically.
I've heard about that.
Yeah, and they put like new wrestlers in there. Like
okay.
So it's the current WWE roster, the current AEW roster, and like some New Japan guys on this No Mercy.
Do they still have the older versions? Because I know they did that a few years back, where they had like Ring of Honor, TNA.
Yeah, and every now and then they'll upload like videos of like the wrestlers that are originally on No Mercy, but they've updated them, so they have like Triple H now.
Yeah.
And,
The Undertaker. I forgot that one though. The one that we play on our phones. M. Dickey. M. Dickey is the company that makes that.
Yeah, Wrestling Revolution. Yeah.
Wrestling Revolution. So he put out a tweet. Yeah, he put out a tweet that he's working on a Switch version of that game to remodel, which he would base more on the No Mercy style as well.
I will buy
so
Switch if that
he
happens,
posted for that as well. If you've never played Wrestling Revolution on your phone,
I still play it.
Fun,
it is a trip. There's no game like it because it focuses on, especially the booking mode. I love. There's things that can go wrong in the booking mode where a wrestler can stab another.
So many wrestlers die in that game. It's
amazing. Yeah, and then you have a tribute show, and
it's a trip, man.
I've booked so many memorial shows on that game. Jesus.
Wrestling Revolution, guys.
Talking about video games, though, apparently EA and WWE are already having discussions about possibly moving WWE video games to EA Sports.
They should. 2K dropped the ball big time. I don't think they should be allowed to run a game again.
I don't think EA is the solution either, though, because you look at the last couple of Madden games, they've been trashed. So I don't know.
I feel like that's just Madden, though. Like,
but it's EA. Just Madden. Just bring back THQ, man. Just that shit.
I'm just saying.
No servers and let them freaking make the games again. They have the
money.
Or
who's the company that made the TNA game? That was Midway, right?
No, I think that was Midway, which isn't around. They're NetherRealm Studios now.
Oh, that's right. Fine. Well, bring them back.
All right. Let's close it off with one more question. Everybody else here, pick who do you think is winning the Money in the Bank, men and women?
Otis. Fuck it. Just kidding.
AJ Styles.
Probably AJ.
Yeah, AJ Styles, and I don't know who's in the women's match. So.
Nia Jax, just because
I don't know who's in any match.
That's the only girl I know who's in there. So
is
Nia
Sasha
Jax
in
and
it?
AJ.
No, she's not.
Okay, so we're still not getting Sasha and Bailey yet.
No.
Probably Nia. Yeah, it makes sense. So Nia and AJ Styles.
Do we think Tamina's winning? I feel
no.
I just have this weird feeling that they're having Tamina win.
I'm surprised.
Why did they release her?
I was gonna say I'm surprised every time Tamina's on television. So no, I don't think she's winning.
That's Roman Reigns defending her and the Usos probably.
Yeah, because I mean, just even the push she's gotten this time around, like even before me, I remember even saying on the WrestleMania stream, like I feel like Tamina might win this match. Like I don't know, like. I mean, feel like she might get the title. Yeah.
She's the next Barry Horowitz.
My picks would probably be Baszler and Ray.
Ray?
Go down the list again of who's in the match.
You're doing that.
You got AJ, Daniel Bryan, Rey Mysterio, Baron Corbin, Otis, and
Aleister Black.
AJ.
Yeah. I mean, well,
if they're rushing AJ's return, it's got to be AJ.
That's kind of how I feel too.
Yeah. And who's in the women's?
Nia, Shayna Baszler, Carmella, Lacey.
Carmella's in it?
And I don't even know who else.
I think Lacey might win it.
Lacey's probably going to win. Yeah, I agree.
Good old American gal, you know?
Oh, that's when the Southern accent's okay, Vince?
She's got ass cheeks. That's why he likes her.
That's all she's got.
And that's even kind of saying something because she don't have ass like that.
Bro, if they don't get Baszler,
but when you bend over the ropes.
Yeah, but they already buried Baszler. So
that's what I'm saying. Like, don't you have to pretty much give her the briefcase to save any kind of momentum that she could possibly have?
No, because then Becky would just bury her the next night.
I was like, Shayna doesn't get shit till Ronda comes back. That's
Ronda's not coming back and doesn't deserve to come back.
I mean, yeah.
But stay home, don't come back.
Don't come back. I mean, the rumor SummerSlam. We'll see. Ugh. That's the rumor. See how they pull that off. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 4 or 5.
I want to say 4, but we could
4?
be 5. I'm
losing track already. This has been one of the episodes. This has been another episode of Missing the Mark podcast. Obviously, as you know, Matt's and Marks is an hiatus. We will be back as soon as we can, but it may be looking very soonish, depending on who you believe in and who you talk to and who you follow you on Twitter. I mean, it's starting to look kind of better, and as soon as it is, we will be back in the studio. Yeah, depending.
I mean, we were at Free Admission Media Studios last night, so
yeah.
I mean.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
Yeah,
we made them wipe everything down for us. So
yeah, I mean, we didn't touch anyone. We didn't even talk to anybody in there. So we'll see.
Yeah, but in the meantime, we will continue to do Missing the Mark exclusively here on Gold Coast Federation's YouTube channel. And once again, this Sunday, I believe the show starts at 4 p.m. I'm not sure, but somewhere around between 3:30, 4 p.m., 4:30, around there, we will be live here on the GCF YouTube channel doing a live reaction to WWE Money in the Bank. It's
Bring your White Claws.
Before we sign off, though, before we sign off, can we see RJ put on that sombrero and start cleaning up his room over there?
Here's the thing. I don't want to touch that sombrero because I know for a fact there's
Is that the sombrero Brock Lesnar?
Is there a spider in it that you pinned to the wall?
I know for a fact there's one in there.
Because when a good podcast moment, go put it.
When I moved back in here, there was a shitload of spider webs in the corner.
Is it the Rowan spider?
Don't do that. I won't sleep in this house.
It's a brown recluse.
Can we not do this?
The wolf
please?
Spider.
Because like people on Twitter will start tweeting me this shit, and then I'll have to delete Twitter. So yeah, no, we're not doing that.
All right. As always, guys, continue to send us more questions for Q&A. We would love to have an episode dedicated to just the Q&A. Ask TJ some questions about his videos, things you want to know about him. He's got the life.
I'm an open book.
As I've already said, we had a Benoit question, so nothing is off limits here, guys. Ask us whatever you want to ask us. We will give you as much of an answer as we can. So, thanks for tuning in as always. Take it away, Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean, I think we need to have like a WWE Untold series of TJ. Like they're doing.
Yeah, let's do it.
So that would be great just to follow.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, this Sunday we will be live here. So make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell so you find out when we are live. But we will be live here. Make sure you subscribe for future episodes. I'm pretty sure we're going to be uploading other things as well in the future. So you don't want to miss out on that stuff. There's a lot more content coming your way here on GCF. So subscribe, comment down below as always. And hey, if you have a question right now, put it in the comment section. I'm sure we will see that, and then we'll answer that on the future episode, probably next Wednesday as well. Or we'll probably answer it during the Money in the Bank live stream. And join us as well. You can watch us while we're watching the show at the same time with us and pretty much, hang out with us as we watch probably one of the most chaotic, shittiest Money in the Banks of all time. So we will be here Sunday here on GCF. This has been episode 4 or 5 of Missing the Mark podcast. We will see you guys then. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. It is your boy, Hollywood Hogan.
Joseph Saint.
TJ Suave.
RJ Wallace.
See you guys then.